Remember those indelible lessons from Aesop's Fables? Well, look out, Aesop. Fortune magazine columnist and author Stanley Bing has a version dedicated to the precarious world of business. In his new book, Bingsop's Fables, Little Morals for Big Business, Bing uses a delicious mix of sarcasm and recognizable characters to provide his own brand of wisdom. Stan, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Jill.
Anybody who works for 5 minutes in any job recognizes all these characters. So, of course, we have to ask, you work at a large corporation in your day job. Did you draw on these characters?
I've, worked in corporations of one form and size or another from the time I was pretty young, and so this is an assembly of a lot of different people I've known. I
used to own a business. I found the moral, it's your ring people are kissing, not you, particularly apt. I was wondering, how can bosses or owners really differentiate between respect and brown-nosing?
Well, it's a hard-won lesson. It's your ring people are kissing, not you. And what it is that our jobs and our titles, they kind of stick to us. And then eventually people begin to believe their own PR notices, their own standing within the corporation or within the organization represents, people's actual feeling about them. And this is what hurts so much when people leave a place and then they don't get the table they want and people don't kiss their butts the way they used to and they call them, hey, you. So it is your ring people are kissing. It's your function, it's the power that you have over them, and never become confused and think that that's actually you that they're afraid of. It's the guy who's standing behind you and casting this enormous shadow over both of you. But my villains in the book tend to be middle managers who, when they read about themselves, don't recognize themselves.
Yes. That's
human resources people, public relations people, publishing executives, agents.
The aggressive agents.
Bean counters.
Yeah.
Little bald bean counters. I have a couple of those. And of course, I'm drawing from Aesop, and all of his animals, all of his people were very alive and very humorous and very, very human.
Okay, so Stanley Bing, you also maintain your own blog, and you're all over the place, and you like to comment on what's going on in the world, right?
Absolutely.
And where can people find you?
At stanleybing.com.
All right, so now here's a question. You've said that the system has figured out how to get 100 people to do the job of 250.
Yeah, that's productivity.
Productivity, right?
I always laugh when they say productivity is up.
Right.
Like,
well, we're working harder.
Well, of course productivity is up. You have that one guy doing the job that 5 people used to do.
Right.
And he's very productive.
He's quite productive, and he's really scared about losing his job.
He's terrified. Terror is up.
Right.
And the nervousness is always up.
But then what's going to get those companies to hire? If they figured out how to do more with less, if the Great Recession was like this moment, this shining moment for corporate America to say, oh my gosh, we figured out how to do this. We just cut out all these people and we don't really need to rehire them.
Well, because you have to think of new jobs. You can't put a lot of people back to work at the same old jobs. I mean, places are hiring in Silicon Valley and in places where America is kind of finding new ways to grow and make money, then they're hiring people. And so the jobs that have to come out of real economic growth and not just kind of putting people back at the stations that they used to have. And then that has to do with education,
right,
and has to do with belief in what we're doing. I mean, building cars, we do that well. In fact, unfortunately, the tragedies in Japan, if you look at the American auto business, it's really benefiting from that. Right. So there's places where we can grow, but we have to grow the business, and then the jobs will come, I think.
Stanley Bing, thanks so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
And thanks for watching.